problem, we're given a function f of x, and we are to find the x values such that f of x is equal to 3. So notice we are not going to substitute a number in for x. In fact, we don't know what x is. That's the whole point of finding the value of x, so that f of x is equal to 3. When I get down, we're supposed to write our answer in function notation and as an ordered pair. But first I'm just going to figure out the x value that works. So notice in this equation f of x equals 8x plus 11 that we are not substituting x with 3. Again, we're supposed to find x. In fact, it's telling me that the output variable, which is f of x, is equal to 3. And when two things are equal in math, you can substitute one for the other. So I look at it as we're taking f of x and we are substituting it with the number 3, giving me a linear equation to solve. So I would solve this linear equation by first subtracting 11 on both sides. And 3 subtract 11 is negative 8. And on the right hand side, I get that 11 subtract 11 is 0. And in mathematics, we tend not to write plus 0. So now to solve for x, I notice that the 8 is being multiplied by x. So to undo multiplication, I do division. So if I were to divide both sides by 8, on the right hand side this would simplify out to give me the number 1. And again, in mathematics you could write 1 times x, but we tend to leave the 1 off for simplicity's sake. Negative 8 divided by 8 is negative 1. So I found the x value. If someone were to substitute in there, they would get the output of 3. In fact, maybe you could do this in your mind. If you were to put a negative 1 there, you'd have 8 times negative 1, which is negative 8. And negative 8 plus 11 turns out to be 3. So we found the x value so that the output would be 3. So this is the answer. So here was the original question, find x so that the output variable f of x comes out to be 3, and we found that the x value that makes that work is indeed x equals negative 1. What that means is if you were to put x equals negative 1 back in here, you would have your answer written in what's called function notation. And with function notation in general, you can think of as that we put the name of the function, in this case f, and whenever we want to tell people what the input and corresponding output are, we put the input in parentheses here and the output over here. So me just replacing x with negative 1 back into the original question, right? F of x equals 3, find the x value. You would get f of, and then I replace x with negative 1, and that gave us out 3. You would get the information written in function notation, which basically just says if someone were to input negative 1, they would get out 3. Now we are also to write our answer as an ordered pair, which is just another way of organizing information. An ordered pair is a way of writing a point that would be labeled on a graph, say. And in an ordered pair, the notation is that you write the input, put a comma, write the output, and put parentheses on the edges here. So for our example, x came out to be negative 1. That was our input. So just replacing the input with negative 1 and the output with 3, I've converted from function notation here to point notation. So this notation and this notation are just two different ways of saying that if you plug in negative 1, you get out 3.